Hey turtle nerds, welcome back to another video. In today's video, we're going to be talking about some species that I think make the best pet turtles and some of the things that we need to factor in when considering if you want a turtle as a pet and some things to keep in consideration that are the most important factors. Basically, we're going to be talking about what's important when picking a pet turtle. Before we get started with today's video, guys, please make sure that you're subscribed and that you give this video a thumbs up. It really helps me out in the long run, and hit the bell thing so that way you get notified when I upload. I have a whole mega thread for video ideas on my Patreon. Make sure you join this beautiful list of lovely people because I'm really active on Patreon. It's the best way to get in contact with me if you've got questions or anything like that, or video ideas. You really want to see something? Monday's video is actually a topic that someone said, I really want to see this. Okay. So definitely consider heading over there to join me. It also pushes me to upload more and to, I don't know, plug. Patreon, I'm a YouTuber, Patreon. All right, let's get started. So the number one thing that you're gonna wanna keep in consideration if you're getting a new turtle is how big it gets fully grown. The number one limiting factor that people have when getting turtles is how large they get and how much space they can provide. It wouldn't be fair to the animal if you only have a 40-gallon aquarium, but you are getting maybe something like a red ear slider that will, as a female, get a maximum of like 12 inches. Absolutely huge and wouldn't really thrive in a 40-gallon tank. However, there are plenty of other species that would do great fully grown in a 40-gallon aquarium. So it's very important that you guys keep track and know just how big these animals get before you get them. For example, if I'm getting a hatchling turtle like this little booger right here, so you can see this little guy is freaking tiny, and you can see that he's doing really well in just this concrete mixing tub that was like 12 bucks. You know, he's definitely thriving in this little enclosure. It's super easy to provide for this turtle. So if I have a little turtle like this, I don't see it as a hatchling because right now it's way too easy to provide for a hatchling turtle. So I don't really see the animal as this, you know. This is just a hatchling. This is its baby form. This setup is not gonna be useful in the long term. So how I would view that little hatchling there is like this. This is how I view that little hatchling, as a fully grown adult in the worst case scenario that it turns out female, because females tend to be larger than males. That's why I say worst case scenario. I don't hate women. So you need to think not how do I provide for that little cute booger right over in there. I think how do I provide for this massive turtle. It's the best way that I'm able to, you know, make sure that I have enough room for all of my animals. Also having a pond helps, but not everybody can be like me and just pop off. So I would say that that's like the most important thing when you're considering getting a turtle. How big does it get fully grown, and will I be able to care for it when it is at its maximum size? Once we consider that though, I'm going to talk about some species that don't get too large, that are very personable and friendly, and that I think actually make great turtles. One of them, surprisingly underrated. So musk and mud turtles, I think, make fantastic pets, and they'll only get like this big, like half the size of Bean over there. They would be more than happy in like a 55-gallon aquarium when they're fully grown. The only thing to consider is that sometimes they're not the best swimmers, so you need a lot of driftwood and plants and things for them to climb and get to the surface. Musk and mud turtles are fairly personable actually, and they're super easy to get. They're relatively low cost, they don't make a lot of waste, and they can totally thrive in an aquarium habitat. Yeah, so that's like musk and mud turtles. My buddy Greg at Greg's Turtle Haven, he's got a ton of them, and he's got these awesome enclosures and really cool ponds and setups for them. However, musk and mud turtles, they'll do just fine in like a 40-gallon aquarium, even fully grown. They're not too finicky about water quality, just keep it clean. They like their basking spots. I just think they're a fantastic species. I really want to do like a nice planted 40-gallon tank with like a musk turtle or something. I don't have the room to do it though. You know, prioritizing my turtles and things, these are things that you have to consider before getting new animals, but I think that they're freaking dope. Musk and mud turtles, my number one choice for a pet turtle. So let's get a little more exotic. A musk or mud turtle will cost you about like 50, 60 bucks maybe, depending on who you get it from. Or if you have breeder friends, they might just give one to you. So let's talk about another super underrated species of turtle that I think also makes a fantastic pet. That's gonna be the spotted turtle. That's Clemys guttata. As adults, they get like the size of a male painted turtle. Like they don't get that big. They get like this big maybe. Like musk or mud turtles, they're also not great swimmers, so you need a lot of things and a heavily planted environment for them. They feel more natural and secure in something like that. You can keep one in a 40-gallon tank as an adult it will be more than happy in something like that. Just provide a good basking spot, good filtration. They're a little more finicky about their water quality, and they like tannins, which is like the stuff released from driftwood. It makes the water a tea color. They love that. And like spotted turtles, they're very friendly, very personable. They're not doing great in the wild, so having them in captivity and a lot of people breeding them is extremely important and very useful. So you're kind of contributing to conservation by keeping them alive. You know what I mean? Let's take a look at my spotted turtle. So here's my male spotted turtle just hanging out in the rain in his enclosure. And the males of most turtle species are smaller than the females. So if you can get your turtle from a captive breeder who knows what temperature they incubated it at, so if you can get from a breeder and they know the sex of the hatchling, the only way to know, by the way, is to know what temperature they were incubated at, then I would definitely go for males more often than females. So there he goes, and you see he's doing great in just this little enclosure. There's not too much water here. I would actually like to provide him with more space than this. I would say that they like 3/4 water and like 1/4 land. If you can't provide a lot of land for them though, they'll do just fine with like a basking spot set up as like a normal turtle. Check out this amazing turtle. Absolutely gorgeous male here, and he's doing really well in this environment. But look, I mean, he's about 3 years old now, and look at how large he is. That's it. This guy would do great in a 40-gallon aquarium, filled up maybe halfway or all the way if you're gonna have a lot of branches and things for him to climb up. But you could see this is a really healthy and nearly fully grown adult male spotted turtle. I would say he's still a juvenile, but you know, this is 3 years of growth and he's looking fantastic. I cannot vouch for spotted turtles enough. I actually would prefer spotted turtles over a musk or a mud turtle. Just a really cool species to keep. These guys like worms, they like their protein, but they also like their veggies as well. Unlike musks or mud turtles, which are a little more protein centric. We're gonna let him go right there. So to wrap up this video on the final species that we're gonna talk about, it's gonna be painted turtles and map turtles, but only the males of both species. Reason being, the females get really large in order to store eggs, and so they can get a lot bigger than their male counterparts. Male map turtles and male painted turtles are highly aquatic. They love swimming. They can do just fine in a whole bunch of water, so the bigger the better for the enclosure. And they're both relatively personal. The turtle girl has a male eastern painted turtle, absolutely gorgeous, like thriving, and I think it's a 29 or a 30-gallon tank. She might have upgraded to a 40, but that animal is doing just fine in a tank setup like she has. Definitely cannot recommend her channel enough. Go check her out and see that painted turtle. She's also got a male terrapin, so like the male, how do I put it? The males of most aquatic species don't get absolutely huge, so you can keep them comfortably in a relatively like normal sized aquarium, like 40, 55, 75 gallons without issue. So male map turtles, male painted turtles, even male terrapins. Check out her terrapin Hoku. Absolutely thriving in a 40-gallon tank, but you gotta know if it's a male. Like I showed you, females will get big. So making sure that you can provide for those animals when they're fully grown, I can't recommend those species enough actually. The first two especially, musks, mud, and spotted turtles, really fantastic pets. And then if you can provide a little bit of a larger enclosure, something like a 55, a 75-gallon tank, consider a male of one of those species, either a terrapin, a map turtle for sure. The males don't get huge at all, and they're just absolutely stunning. I can't recommend them. I want other turtles. I gotta go visit Greg's Turtle Haven. That man has got all the cool North American species. So I hope this was like a pretty good guide just to give you a general idea of what turtle species I think would make better pets. So with that being said, the #1 takeaway, folks, make sure you can provide for them. So thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it gave you like a good idea about what, you know, possible pet turtles you guys can get. If you enjoyed, please give me a thumbs up. Tell me in the comments what your favorite pet turtle is or your dream species. That'll be another video too. Thank you guys again, and I'll see you all in the next one.